Our oldest grandchildren came to visit us, and Cynthia and Lee, their parents,
And then here,
1946. And this is a big snowstorm where Glen was a maintenance man between Galesburg and Monmouth. And he was driving this truck, and I took the pictures.
Galesburg and
Pardon?
Kirkwood. Galesburg.
Yeah, but
Pictures.
he was worked between Galesburg and Kirkwood.
This is taken north, Pumpkin Center.
This is just east of
Down Turpin? No, it's west.
no, just west of Don Turpinig's, where we used to live,
Church.
east of Colebrook Church. And this is Catherine and George and Dwight Holt having fun down on the farm over in the timber and the just east. Let's see. That's Dwight. This is Catherine. And
It's east of Louval's.
east of Louval's. You can do this better than I can.
No, a lot I don't know.
This is Dwight just fell down, and Catherine and George on the sled, and Geraldine, our little dog. This is Geraldine having a ride up the hill. Catherine and George and the dog. There was a bridge down on across the creek just below here. That's Dwight. This is the timber before they cut any white oak. They're just ready to start in on it. We sold the white oak off. I think came to $3,200. We thought we was rich then. And this is just east of the West Road, north of Louval's.
They sure did a good job of recording that.
Good pictures.
I didn't. This is Sally and Phil on our east porch. And George had his tractor, and Glen on the tractor. George had his tractor fixed so it didn't need any driver. And it went clear across the field without a driver. The old Ford tractor. This is on the 20, across from Harry Turpinning Place. I thought I'd get some little rabbits in a basket, but I didn't succeed, only with one. I didn't have him very long. This is Eddie eating angel food cake and dividing up for the cat. Sally and Phil fighting over a hat. And Cynthia and Sally and Phil in our front yard. And this is Eddie in front of the peony bush. And Sally and Phil. And this is Vicky Miller
Oh, yeah.
and her mother,
Archery.
Marjorie Krupps Miller. And this is Glen and Lee and Cynthia and the one, Alice Boyd Black. And here we're shearing a sheep, and the man could do a sheep in about a minute or two. It just seemed almost impossible. And this is Mary Brankton and Stella Wright and Gilmer Brankton and Charles Wright. And Glen with a little pup. That's sure cute.
Yes, it is. What was this dog's name, do you know?
Oh, I've forgotten. We didn't have him very long. And this is hauling hay up around the corner in front of Lucy Reiner's place, Marsh Reiner's place. That's Ray Krupp, and his son Billy is spraying the field west of our house. And this is the Garcia family and Tanner Glass's family and us down at New Salem. And let's see, these are strangers here. And this is Pearl with her dog Rusty and our dog. And Rusty thought a lot of Glen or Everett and climbed the ladder all the time to be with him.
What were they building? Machine shed?
This was the where was this shed?
Where was
It's
that?
north of the old barn on the Ed Turkey.
Oh yeah, a new shed he was building for us, and the dog would get up there and whine and cry for Everett.
That's Rusty.
Rusty. And this is Everett and Richard Turfening eating watermelon, as you see. And Pearl and Everett with a snake, milk snake, teasing a dog. And this is a tornado, result of a tornado over at on Grace Buchanan's place, east and north of Gerlaw.
1946.
1948. This is. And this is a barn from the same storm in north of the Gerlaw place. The one.
Was that Buchanan's?
And this is the. What?
Was that Buchanan's too? That one that was
No,
torn down?
no.
That house was Buchanan's that we just saw.
This is the across the road from the Wright place. That was the where it took the house. And this is on the hill east of the right place, and this is the right place. And took the house clear away. And you look down the cellar and see the churn and everything, and old jars. And this is Don Turpnick's barn. And this is Cynthia picking peaches at our place. And Sally. Those are really nice peaches. Do you remember that, Cynthia?
Sure.
Those fall colors are so
Yeah.
nice. The trees.
This is over, I think, east of, north of Face Elise, yes. This is. And this,
Okay, now when it starts playing, you start talking.
right now. This is east of the Turpning Cemetery, and the bend in the road there. Now we're headed towards my grandfather's place. Should I wait?
No, tell about it. That was,
North of Charterville, where my mother was born.
that was where Robert Adcock did reside.
Oh, you on the new. This is down at Vincennes, Illinois, at Memorial for Lincoln, I think. And we're at Quentin Johnson's place, and Sally and Lee and Philip. And the dog. Remember the dog name?
Laddie?
Laddie. Cynthia and Lee, and here's Catherine.
New Salem?
Now we're down in New Salem with the Garcias, Tanner Glasses, and us. We had spent the day down there.
And Laverne Blues with it.
And Laverne Blue.
I think you'll see Manny on the oxen pretty soon. Is that right, Mother?
Yeah, this is Phil and Cynthia and Lee. This is a snowstorm at our house, the old Turpning place, and looking down from the front porch towards the road. This is towards the grapevine, toward Anderson's. And Glen coming from the barn during the storm, and I was in the back door. And this is
After the storm.
after the storm, and Cynthia and Catherine and Eddie.
Was
Cyn-
that you up there, Mother?
Yeah, I was with them. And Lee and George, Catherine and Lee, and Phil flying a kite.
There's George.
And George. This is I don't know where.
That's over in the west pasture where Wayne Glass is.
In the west pasture. In the yard pasture.
Wayne Glass has it now.
Wayne Glass owns it now. and has a home here. This is
Looking west from about where Wayne's house is.
looking west from Wayne's house. Now we're up at Lee and Cynthia's on the Quint Johnson place with their dog, Laddie. And this is,
Bill.
no,
Yes, it is.
no, it's Don Bradley and the turkey.
But Phil was in there first.
Was he?
Yeah, I think
It
so.
was.
That's down
This
on
is
the
Minor Hill. And a trail ride over at Young Quist Lake. Glen went over and took a picture, but he was in the wrong light to take their.
Do you recognize any of them, Mother?
No, not now. I might have years ago. I never did know very many of them. This is,
Holden.
I think, this is Glen and his outfit when he was maintaining the road between Monmouth and Galesburg
Bob St. George.
with Bob St. George and I think Glenman was the other one.
That it was. This is,
And this is at Lee's up at the Quint Johnson place feeding his cattle in the evening.
Lee is scooping.
Lee scooping the feed to them and hauling the feed to them and scooping it out. There it goes. And this is up at Black Hawk State Park with Vern Blue and Uncle
Arthur Shaver.
Arthur Shaver. This is Vern
That was Arthur.
and
There's Arthur.
Uncle Arthur and Vern.
That's King Dodo.
This is Vern on the way to Muscatine, I think. And this is Vern after he shot some squirrels over in our timber. Hunters stay out. And this is down on the Mississippi. We took that ride from
South of Burlington, isn't
down from Rock Island to Burlington. And this is the Hogan family and George, Don Bradley,
it? Helen.
and Little Don, and Helen Hogan, and Charlie Hogan, and Bertha, George, and Glen.
We saw Betty Foster back there.
Yeah, Betty, and
I think we see her and.
let's see, that wasn't her, was it? And they're coming down that hill where George and Catherine were
Sliding in the snow.
coasting on the snow. And this is a trail ride later that year.
Dick Hawkins is in that group with
Yeah.
an orange sweater on.
Dick Hawkins in there with an orange sweater on. And
That's Dick
there, this is Dick, and I don't know who, and
Joanne.
Joanne
Adcock
Adcock,
is in there
and
somewhere.
Betty Hogan,
Cyberlick now.
Cyberlick now. That's
There's
the,
Foster Cyberlick now.
here he is, Foster.
There's Betty.
Betty.
Roy LaBrash is that guy.
Yeah.
So,
Here's Roy LaBrash, isn't
that guy's name's King, I think. I'm not, or Eagle? Eagle, maybe.
Eagle?
There's Roy LaBrash.
Yeah, here's Roy LaBrash showing off his horse. And I don't know who this is, but he's got, and this is the, John Cyberlick and Betty.
I don't know who that one is there.
No, I don't either. This, I should know her, but, this is Mooney here.
Mooney, yes, that's right.
And this is our old turkey.
And that's our dog.
Our dog Dick's, no,
That's
your dog,
Yeah, that's Long John.
George's dog. The turkey teased the dog all the time. Another trail ride.
Probably the same group, isn't it? Maybe not.
No, I don't, this is a different time, I'm sure. A different batch. I know Charlie Squires is in here.
I never did see Charlie in there at that.
Yeah, I think this is him right here.
Oh, but I saw May. I recognized her. There's Cliff.
That's Clifford White and his wife. And this is a family, I've forgotten what their names were. He took pictures. And these are our turkeys and the owl that Glen caught. And the turkeys are all excited about him. Cynthia raised the turkeys and the cat.
You're in the Ed Turpin's front yard.
Yeah, in Ed Turpin's front yard. And I took this picture, and Glen was so mad at me because I didn't get close enough to take these cattle right. And I was mad at myself. And this is a possum that Glen caught and took a picture of. This is Catherine and Gail Margaret, I guess.
No, it's Ed. Ed and his little.
It was Gail.
This is Gail.
It showed
No, the other one. This is Eddie.
It showed a new baby.
Oh. Yeah, the new baby was Gail.
Yeah, new baby was Gail. And Eddie and the cat. This makes everybody cry. It loves cats. One time we showed it and everybody just had a fit. This is Merwin Armstrong, Lauren Glass, and Alice with their back to us. Lauren getting in the car. Edna Armstrong. Catherine was in there. This is our dog Tony that tried to get all the water. He's a spaniel. Joyce Glass. And the dog is a basket. In our front yard. Yeah, this is Tony. Showing off. They were at the Palisades, north of Savannah, was it? Cynthia?
Looks like Starbucks to me.
Oh. This is Gail, Margaret, and Tony. This is Eddie and Sally and Phil playing Ring Around the Rosie. Catherine and George and Pete Squires building a dam at home.
Get stuck, doesn't he, Mother?
Yeah. They were playing London Bridge over in the timber. Mary Glass, Hazel, and Lois Fulsenloger, Joyce Glass, Phil, and Lee.
That was Hazel holding, helping you. Joyce.
Eddie and feeding the chickens at home. At the Ed Turpning place. This is Betty Willie.
Peggy Willie.
Peggy Willie. Made a mistake there. And that's Charlie, was it?
No.
This is Manuel Garcia down at New Salem on the oxen. This is Clarita and Hazel Glass and Vern Blue and Tanner and Manuel's father, Manuel. And what's her first name?
Lois?
Lois Fulsenolger, a cousin of Glen's.
Where she live?
She's dead. Where is this? Where is she?
She lived in Kansas, but she visited us for about 3 weeks and then went to
This is the northern part of Illinois, isn't it? Northern
yeah, this is up
Galena area.
around Galena. Near the Wisconsin line. This is at General Grant's home at near Galena. Lois Fulsenloger and Vern Blue and Pete Squire on the tractor, I think, in the yard pasture. Is that right?
No, that's back to your house.
No, we already saw that one.
This is Lois and Vern down at where's Orchard. Gail and a Trib. Outside our house, over at the Ed Turpning place. I don't know this man. I've forgotten his name. This is the Earl Olson family. Another trail ride.
We'll see May Squires after that, and that's right.
Yeah.
Joanne Adcock.
Yeah, Joanne Adcock.
That was May back
And May didn't ride.
then. Yes, she did.
Right there's might be.
Uh-uh.
No.
Uh-uh.
She had a big square hat.
No. She didn't ride. Here's May and Mrs. Reeves. No, I don't know the man. This is a squirrel that was, we had some dry weather. And he wanted to drink so bad, and we had a tub out in the back, on west side of the house at the Ed Turpning place. These are Lee's cows when they are living with us at the Ed Turpning place. Sally and one of the calves.
That is so cute. So many.
I think that's so cute.
We called that calf April May.
What?
We
April,
called
May.
Yeah.
It was a calf. This is after a storm
Before the storm.
at and Lucy's house.
After the storm.
This is after the storm. Out looking from our front porch across the road, looking towards Anderson's. We saw a big tree limb go down at that time. Just riding along. This is me on the dam.
That might be the next roll.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm on at the Ed Turpning place on Joanne Malcolm's pony.
This is Crakel Park.
Craig Park and Catherine and Eddie. And this is Phil and I. And this, where was this taken?
Cradle Park, I think, Mother.
Craple Park? Oh, this is up at Alta.
This is Sally.
This is Sally. I've lost my thing. There's Aunt Belle Hoon and Cynthia. Cynthia was with a yes.
This is Glen Glass, Geraldine. Where's this?
This is up at White Pines State Park.
White Pines State Park in Illinois.
Lee, Brit, and Phil, Catherine, and Cynthia.
Mable. Mother.
Oh, Mable Glass was there, was she? Oh.
Yes, there. Catherine wasn't
This is Glen Glass going up on the bridge, walk bridge.
session. Black Hawk statue near Oregon, Illinois. Virginia Munson and her twins and Cynthia. Eddie Glass.
Tanner Glass's geese. There's Tanner. There's young geese, goslings. They're protecting them.
Joyce.
Tanner and Mary. Do you know who that
This is
Stone King?
Stone King. Cat and snake.
Geraldine. Glen Glass catching a snake. This is what we call a milk snake. Mable Glass, the turkeys. In the front yard they had turkey place. Okay. Okay. Phil and Sally, and that was Lee that picking up the tray. Phil on the tricycle, and Sally in the wagon. George Glass and Eddie. Edwin Glass, I should say. This is over at the pond at the focuses, looking north from the south end of the pond. That's Ed, isn't it? Looks like
Yeah,
Eddie.
It is Ed.
They called it.
Oh, did they?
Auburn Quinley and Joe McBride. Been squirrel hunting.
A quiet day in the summer.
Look at that.
The geese flying over. More geese. Glen walking through the timber.
I like
Lee and Phil and Sally and I. Sally's riding this time. We're over just east of the bayou. And this is Earl Nelson and his granddaughter on the right, and Sally and Phil in the wheelbarrow at our place. Glen's skating on the pond. Glen and some of the neighbor kids. Sally and Lee and Cynthia and, let's see, Sally and Phil. This is Cheryl Turpinning. The one red bonnet was Shirley Price, I think. And this is Cheryl Turpinning. Glen and Lee. Mary Price and Cheryl. This is where Glen turns around, I think, and almost falls. There he did it. That's Shirley Price. After a bad ice storm, the wires down between Galesburg and Monmouth for over a month. We were out of telephone service for just a month. The road was bumpy with ice, but it made the picture taking kind of bumpy too. They had 7 different telephone companies working on the line between Monmouth and Galesburg at the time. Then later that same year, I think it was, we had a flood. And this is the side of the flood. You see, this is just about covered.
Margaret and Earl Nelson.
Hanging out though. He looks like hung up all those quotes. And the guy was doing it. That's good. He's probably one that cost 15 cents.
This is Larry Glass. Probably about 1950. 810 Harlan Street, Denver, Colorado. This is Everett glass, and pearl glass, and rusty. This is, this is Franz Meyer of Black Mountain Ranch, where Everett and Pearl honeymooned in 1945. This old ranch is up near Conifer, Colorado. This is the old homestead, or the old buildings. This man built himself. It's an idyllic place. This is back at 810 Harlan Street, looking at the mountains. Across the road, about 1950. This is Genesee, the old Genesee area. Now we're going up the highway towards Highway 40, towards Loveland Pass. Yeah, west of Denver. This is coming up, going up towards Berthoud Pass. This is Berthoud Pass area. Uh-oh. I said that wrong. That wasn't Berthoud. This is Loveland Pass. It's Continental and Loveland Pass, yeah. Let's go down the west side of Loveland Pass. Gee, it's the old dirt road here. Looks like this is the Arapahoe ski area. Oh, I remember now. This was some skiers were coming down that area, in the old Arapahoe. Now this is still called Arapahoe. Here's some skiers going up on a single chairlift. Now Ralston Purine owns this ski area, and I think it's the highest in the country.
Is this anybody we know?
No, these are not people we know. Oh, this is the old town of Dillon. This would be worth some money now to see this. See these, this is the bottom of a lake. This the old town of Dillon has moved and made it into a lake. I was thinking the other day how this area was at that time. This is South Park. We're coming back up towards Kenosha Pass.
Did you take the buildings out?
Building town. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Do you know?
No. Want me to back it up?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is back in the timber, isn't it?
Why don't you talk? I don't know who these. Oh, I can.
Fern Olson?
I remember. There's Fern Olson and Earl and Fern Olson. This is a killdeer. I can see. Killdeer that's trying to Get people away from the nest.
This killdeer is trying to keep people away from its nest and lead them away by looking like it's hurt.
Is that bad?
Apparently at Dad's. This is over in the yard pasture. Wayne Glass now owns it. That's Pete Squires on the tractor, and I believe Lee Britt's digging there.
Let's talk.
Don't have anything to say. Cynthia, Brit, coming home with Sally, brand new baby.
Oh, I think it's Richie.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Richie.
That don't look like Richie.
This is Phil and Sally and Cynthia with the baby, Richie. Now we're down at the Mississippi River watching the barge. I'll turn this.
Why are you left in Mississippi?
We're over in the folks' pond, motorboating around. I'm not sure who all's in the boat. It's not like I'm from the south, you all. Who all?
Down in the Everglades. There's a big gator out there on the right.
It looks like Phil in the lead, Sally, Grandma, that'd be Mable, and then George is running the motor. I don't know those people.
Their son. And Sally and Phil are washing our car. They're doing all right. But see how, when they see I'm taking a picture, they really go after it. This is a trip that Glen took on the Hennepin Canal between, well, it was Charlie Willie and Durham Lucas and Glen and let's see.
I think Victor.
Who?
Victor.
Victor, Lucas. I've forgotten who else.
There they are.
Glen got off, and I met him up before they finished the trip. The others all went down the Illinois River to almost to St. Louis. But Glen had to come home, and I met him at near Princeton. I can't remember just the name of the place. That's Charlie. Durham.
How about that for a bright light? That's 500 watts.
This is Richie when he was about 6 months old, eating an orange out in, they had turpning front yard.
This is Richie, Sally, and Phil. This tractor was belonged to George Glass, and it was upset, backed over a rock pile without anybody on it, and upset. This is George Holt's tractor. Three of us, we meaning George Glass, was living up at and working with Bob Holt, farming the Holt farm. Bob Holt's there, working on the tractor tire wheel. That's Don Turpning. This is Bob Holt here.
Who's that up on top?
I think that was me up on top. This is Everett Glass, Glen Everett Glass. And George Glass. Didn't recognize who was in front. Over at the folks' pond. Didn't recognize that baby, did you? These kids are having fun with a garden tractor over at Cameron, Illinois. And this is the Zephyr coming from Galesburg going west through Cameron.
And Sally and Phil and Margaret, Gail Margaret, Charlie Hogan and Bertha and Richie and Nancy, Sally and Phil and Richie, and down by our, in front where those old wealthies were. The big fisherman, Phil. This is, she thought she was young again.
Who was riding with you, Mother?
Oh, I don't remember. We had lots of bullfrogs at one time at the pond, and we were over east in the three acres east of the house, and we came across these frogs, and they seemed so quiet that we got the movie and took some pictures. Glen hiving some bees. Everett and Pearl and Larry and Eddie and Larry, Margaret, and Gail, Margaret, Sally, Richie, Phil. Yeah, did I get them all? I guess I did. There.
Do we have Dwight there, or is he?
No, Nancy isn't there either. Phil got a big fish this time. Phil and Richie was mowing the yard. That's down at New Boston to the boat races. We raised a lot of muskmelon one year, and I was doing some of the harvesting as well as Glen. This is the Olson family. Sunset. This is at Black Hawk State Park in Rock Island, showing the Indian powwow. Glen was one of the directors of this powwow for a number of years. This is the Eagle Dance. The Indians spent 3 days a year on Labor Weekend.
What a real jigging there.
Yeah, we're back home on the North Place now again with Tony. Some of the cattle. Fall colors.
This is taken from the from Patches looking west, isn't it?
Oh,
It was like a long,
yeah, this is taken from Patches looking west, I think.
Oh, it looks like it to me.
Or this is, I don't know which.
We've had arrested, well, not one, 5 or 6 of them. Sure, we fired one box before we fell.
I never saw the colors so pretty as they were this year, this time this was taken. This is Vivian Glass's home.
There.
This is down on the lake. No, this is over at Tanner's. Vivian got a Vivian Glass got a beaver, and he was very proud of it. And I think Glen was just as proud too. And Glen caught a fox and took a picture of it in the trap. This is Lee and Glen. Lee's on the sled. And let's see. I've forgotten who the girls were. Where's this? Oh, this is on a trip. We must be headed towards the.
Would that be a place called Montecito?
No,
Ohio.
this is. No, it isn't Ohio.
Yeah, it said Ohio. Very well.
I know,
Oh,
but
I know.
it's. Let me think a minute.
War veteran Gettysburg Church.
It's a cemetery at Vicksburg. No, is it Vicksburg?
Was it Nashville?
No,
No, that's not.
it's Vicksburg. I'm pretty sure. And now we're down in Florida. Now we're in Georgia. Glen was surprised to see some of the designs that he had designed on this man's. This is, let that go again. This is in Galesburg.
Were you wanting to make the point that Dad's had his pictures shown of his arrows in the frames
Yeah.
in all the magazines, and people had picked them up?
Mhm.
Probably.
Just as cheap as sit down.
Now we're down in Florida again, or on the way. And this is, the middle one there is Mary Glass's uncle.
Well, he doesn't look like any of them, does he?
No. I don't remember.
That one, alligators you want,
Alligators?
Yeah.
Or, crocs?
No, they're alligators. We're back in Galesburg again, I think. You wouldn't know Galesburg again, would you? Now this is,
Steam engine and thrash machine.
Thrashing, is that old Lexus?
it must be thrashing over at
I'm
Lexus.
pretty sure was that White place
Oh, it says this team is
Fred
Fred
Risings.
Rising's black team.
Mhm.
He's in the hospital.
or electric progress show. Did you put a straw hat through there and she's coming? Yeah, last day of price week.
Now we're
Straw hat.
picking some
Price
zinnias.
was- Yeah.
This is Pearl. We were on the way up to Loveland,
Come on, let me hang it.
towards Loveland Pass.
That's Larry.
Colorado.
You know what year these were taken?
Oh, I don't.
This is top of Arapahoe Basin ski area. This is ski lift going up top of Arapahoe. Apparently we're going down now. This is on the west side of Loveland Pass.
That's you.
Yeah.
We're rubbing out with her, she had.
This is Black Canyon of the Gunnison. It's almost a half a mile deep. It's over near Mount Rose, Colorado. This is the Gunnison River. That's all I
Don't remember. Oh, this must be the one showing. No, I guess not.
Would that be that trip you took to the southwest,
I think it
New Mexico area?
it's must be.
Did you go down to New Mexico with them?
No, just the one time when you were along.
Well, that wasn't it. Larry's about 6 years old, wasn't
We went and down around Wolf Pass. This is the narrow gauge. Yes, it is the time we went to Mesa Verde. Because this is what.
About New Mexico,
Where's Mesa Verde?
Southwest Colorado.
Oh.
Larry ready for church. We left for home that morning. We're ready to go home. Why, Glen looks young there, doesn't he? Pearl and Everett and Rusty. Now this is, Earl Olson's sister, Ella Doyle. And this is Marie Glass at their cabin near a lake out in Kansas. And Neil Glass and their son Larry.
She's a good musician,
Yeah.
and she taught
School for years. Oh, this is out to the Mount Pleasant, Iowa, to the what is it? What?
Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
Yeah, but what?
Old Thrashers Reunion.
Old Thrashers Reunion. Now we're out at a monument in
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Was that Dad? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was Glen.
And here, if I'm not mistaken, is where he was real mad. Because they had changed the place and put a monument in another place.
Besides,
where it wasn't. Beside the road and where they did the fighting was over someplace else.
and he just about
He stormed for 150 miles.
he sure did.
You sure did.
This film had this bad spot on the side of it.
Yeah, there's something got caught in the mirror or the
Camera lens.
camera lens.
I took the projector all apart checking it. See
Mhm.
if I had a problem.
Just because a road was going there.
This is Vern Blue and Pearl, and we're up at William Cody's or Buffalo Bill's monument on that's Vern Blue. Well, I was trying to think Clear Creek. We're out in Denver or Colorado somewhere. I think this is.
Georgetown?
I think that's Strangers.
No, that was us.
Was it?
That's
Yep.
Pearl.
They
Pearl and-
were first, and there comes Phil and Pearl.
King
Vern.
Dodo.
Yeah.
And Dad is taking the picture.
I think that's
That's Cynthia.
Well,
This is the time Phil said, "Can I have that little car down there?"
So the time we were up on top of the mountain, my mother said, "Good old mountain music." We were just kind of breathtaking. Awestruck. So, hey, what you do? Yeah. I think when she was back at the house, Mr. Eichner was babysitting her.
They had some kind of trouble here.
they're just taking the big thing up the hill or down the hill.
Oh, that was it.
Traffic.
Pretty good. Just enough to go.
Continental Divide.
Dad and Pearl and Larry, no, I mean.
No, it was
Dad-
Phil.
Dad and Pearl and Phil were riding together in a little car. Dad was taking from behind him. That was us in the other car that was going ahead. Who owned the little car? Yeah, they had a little car that looked like it was a big car, a car, but it really wasn't so little. It was,
It's an ordinary sized car, but it looks so small.
but they had coupe at that time. do this for Dad and go like, he was so great.
If Mr. Eichner stayed with Sally, was Mrs. Eichner along?
No, I don't think so. We don't know. I'm sure she wasn't.
Oh. Chipmunk. This is the Capitol building in Denver. State Capitol. We went through the Mint there. That's a big tower. We went up in that. There it is, that big tower we went up in. This is Denver we're looking around at while we're up in this big tower. No. Let's see.
Red Rock, huh?
Yes, Red Rock. A big amphitheater.
Reason to have something. Chisel down on the rock.
Pearl found a watch one morning when they went to Easter services there. That they found the owner, Mrs. Eichner, and Everett.
Thank you.
This is Buffalo. I don't know.
Colorado?
Yeah, this is all Colorado. That's, who was it, Everett and, or Pearl and Larry? I expect.
I think that was a long time before Larry, this picture. Might have been Phil.
Maybe Phil.
Phil and somebody. I think I could do Steamboat Springs. Looks like Steamboat Springs, doesn't it?
Like what?
Steamboat Springs.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
down to Garden of the Gods.
What state? Is that Colorado?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is the Seven Falls.
Yeah, Seven Falls.
Oh, is there a big wheel at the bottom of that? Water wheel?
I don't remember.
Stayed all night in Canyon City that night, I think.
Oh, there's the train. See the train?
hmm
Maybe
Oh, now we're at the gorge,
Swinging Gorge.
the Royal Gorge.
See that bridge going across
hmm
there? Walk across that.
Looking straight down.
You're looking straight down from that bridge. See there, now that hand cart going down along there to pick up the bricks or the stones that fall down
Hey,
in
it
the
looks
track.
like a snake in the
After
train.
the train goes through, they go through all the time and check that through, and then
Now the
there's the one
distance
who
away.
crossed that, walked across that. Phil wouldn't go across it.
You would?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he wouldn't.
Hike's father fell. He's afraid of
Still is?
I think so. I suppose he is.
Right?
Yeah, it's still there.
That's inborn.
We did have a picture of going down that. Oh,
Some kind of an elevator?
yeah. Well, what is it they called it?
Car?
We're down there now.
Yeah.
Would it be a cable car?
Yeah.
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 Car, we went down.
Yeah, that's right. The Arkansas River. There's the bridge up there.
There's that bridge.
Now we're headed home.
We went back a lot of years later and it looks so different. Commercialized in every way.
Is that so?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was almost sickening.
Hmm. Is that Glen?
That's late.
That's me.
Oh, that was Lee. Now we're on the way to Florida, and that's how they took cows from jumping out of the... This used to be a governor's mansion. It's not very far from Vern's place. And we're at Vern's place, and that's Glen and Vern. And the big wheels. Or is that Tanner?
No, that's Dad.
Hey, he did
Yes.
have some weight there.
Yeah.
And we're on the way home again. Now I think on at a mill wheel. And now we're our home, and that's Bertha and I feeding the lambs.
Oh, this is the little house over north.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's. Oh, this is Pella, Iowa.
Donna Lane.
Did you know
Yeah.
those people?
Yeah, that was Sally and
Sally and
Rich. Was it Rich?
Cynthia and I don't know whether I was there.
Yes,
This is
you
a
were.
cardinal that had a nest in a rose bush outside our doorway. And the bird hatched out, but I think a cat got him.
Whose place is that?
That's,
Hunt's?
oh, that was Vivian's, I believe, and this is up the next house east. This is a parade in where?
Imagine it's Galesburg, but I don't know.
Well, where it looked like to me was
Here's Richie feeding the ducks.
Looked like where, Cynthia?
in Kansas, I'm sure.
And this is Mrs. Peterson. She had been down fishing, and that's what she got. She was quite a fisherwoman. This is Lee, or Glen, and dead Fox, and Phil and Sally and Richie, and some Oh, this is Dr. Johnson's friend. She owned a lot of dogs, and she wanted to run them, so she brought them out.
I thought you were running her.
Strawberry picking night.
They look kind of green.
Yeah, Grandma picked them green. That's where you got the idea.
Yeah, they look better, don't they? This is Catherine and Catherine,
Gail.
Nancy and Gail, and Richie and Phil with the ducks, and Lois Fulsenloger, Kammerer, Mrs. Peterson again with fish.
Where are you at here? Do you know?
I haven't got the thing with me.
I don't know which one we're on either.
But
You're in Colorado.
It must be the west.
Back in Colorado again. Oh, this is Glenda, and she was about 9 months old, I expect. Maybe 6. Larry and Glenda. Colorado.
Strawberries. You can buy that.
This is Everett, Glen, Everett and Pearl, and Larry and Glenda, and I. Everett and Pearl and Glen, Mr. and Mrs. Eichner and Larry and Glenda. At home again.
Mother,
Yeah, and Phil, isn't it?
looks like.
No, Miss.
Can't tell you.
I don't know.
Now this one.
Oh, this is the Erickson family. They had 3 boys.
That's the Galena.
Yeah, this is up at Galena. Isn't that pretty?
Yes, it is.
Glenn caught an owl.
Just let it creep up. It won't take that long.
This is Bessie and Lester Clark's home and their dog. And the dog has 2 different colored eyes, and I was trying to get the dog to hold still so I could get those eyes. They moved into Galesburg later.
Where are they
And-
living there? Northwest of town?
Hmm?
Living northwest of Galesburg?
No, they lived on
McGuire place.
the
McGuire's place.
No.
Yard place west of Price's.
Oh,
Now we're down in Florida at the Valentine place, and this is their family. Wilbert and Mable, James, Patricia and Melba. And they had a chicken farm down there. Now we're at George Allen's place, where Glen and I and Tanner and Mary stayed for about a week and a half, looking after his place while he was in the hospital. And Tanner's picking some oranges out in his yard. Glen's picking now. Now we're back home again, and this is Glen and Mr. and Mrs. Hagenjosh on the left, and I don't remember the man's name on the right.
I should know him, but I can't remember his name.
Taken in our front yard. Now this is our family coming out the back door. Is Catherine and Lee and George and Everett and Phil and Sally and Richie and little Eva Wolford. Now we're in Florida again, watching them pick cotton. Thank you.
Why, those cotton pickers.
And the cows wore pokes down there a lot. And now we're back home again, looking at the cardinals in our backyard. And this is Dwight with feeding the lambs.
You see Dwight later on, younger.
Yeah. And this is the old hen with the ducks. And we're getting ready to build on our 2 bedrooms. And Glen's digging the first row. And this is at the cemetery with the Dunbars.
The Henderson Cemetery.
Henderson Cemetery. Now we're at home again, and we've had a flood. And Pete Squires and his family are over there trying to get some fish, and they got a lot of fish. And Glen's in there too, with the 2 boys, and Loeva and one of the girls. And our cattle over in the pasture. This is Dwight again, younger this time. This is George and Dwight. This is the children, Sally, Gail, and Dwight, Nancy, and Phil, and Eddie, and Richie. And here's Sally with her new doll. Her walking doll. The 2 bedrooms are getting done. Sally getting ready for a party.
A couple of years later.
A little later. I remember it was a cold day. Cool, anyway. And this is
Geese in your backyard.
backyard. Sunset. I don't remember who these boys are. This is Richie feeding the ducks with the dog. Tony. Nancy picking nasturtiums with her doll. We're out in Colorado again, I guess. This is Larry. Glen, I think.
It sure looks pretty.
And Glenda.
We like to do that.
Larry was wanting some specimens for his butterflies and so on. We decided this was Lynette, didn't we? This is Lynette. And Pearl. Lynette. Larry and Everett and Glenda. Lynette and Everett, Glenda.
So you can head up your Wyoming novel.
What?
There's home again.
This is Sally and Phil playing badminton in our front yard.
Sure moving fast.
Turtle.
Sure, getting her bath.
Sure is.
Looks clean too.
Now this is over at Tanner's.
Yes.
Now we're over at Tanner's, and these are Tanner's tame geese that he raised. I think he had around 150 or more. Stone Mountain in Georgia. Cypress trees. No.
That's still
Okay. Here's the cypress trees.
These aren't Cypress, are they?
I think they are down in Florida. Says they are anyway.
Could be the mountains coming home.
No, I don't know where we are. Oh, this is where the bear is, isn't it?
Yes.
Probably in.
This is down in
The Smokies.
the Smoky Mountains.
Back home again.
Are we?
Yes. This is behind your house.
Yeah, I guess so. Back home again. Now we're over at Alexis, south of Alexis on the Kell farm, where they're demonstrating threshing. I think this is Fred
That
Rising's
was Fred.
outfit.
That's the outfit that ran away, that
Yeah,
little team. Yes.
that little mule team ran away one day.
I don't think we went very far.
No, I don't think so, but created a little excitement. No,
This is still thrashing.
where?
That was still the thrashing that we was just looking at.
Oh. Now I'm not sure where we are.
Could that be Scotts Bluff?
I've got it down here, Chimney Rock and Scotts Bluff, but
There you are.
it's at the end of the film.
There's your site.
Yeah, this is cypress trees. It's back home. Now they've sure grown, haven't they? Now this is, now you tell them who they are.
Well, this is Gail. And this is Becky Patton, Betty Babbitt. And I don't know who's behind. Nancy.
Nancy.
Sherry Patton was on the lead.
Jerry Patton was leading.
Who?
Sherry.
Jerry Patton was leading.
Sherry Patton.
And I don't know who is with
We're
me.
escorting somebody.
Yeah. I think it's a couple that came out to take some pictures one time. I've only knew them one afternoon, and I've forgotten their names and all about them.
Looking at the cemetery on the hill.
Looking at the cemetery on the hill,
This is
and this is the Indians, wooden Indians that Glen had, and some of his collection. And this is a festival in Monmouth, and at the end is
Richie.
Richie and Arnold Schuler on
There's Linda
horses.
Conley.
L-
Linda Conley, mother.
Linda Conley on the
In the car.
on the car.
And Richie and this other boy will be riding ponies.
Better tell her again.
I heard it. There's the boys, Richie and Arnold Schuler on the ponies. And here we are on the, They're breaking Duchess. A horse belonged to George. And who's on the... Gail and Ed
are out there too.
on the other horses. And this is...
Somebody speak.
Oh, Fred and Gertrude Glass in Pampa, Texas, in Glen. That didn't look like Glen.
No,
It wasn't.
it was him. It was him that didn't look like him. That picture.
It was him, all right.
Okay, Paul. It was New Mexico.
Now next is Central City, but
It said New Mexico when you saw it.
this is Central City.
Oh, Everett and Pearl and Larry. Oh, is that where church?
Yeah, there's church and harness shop, there's other.
It's Colorado, is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
this is...
But it didn't show church.
No, no.
Failed to get
See, right in,
back
right
Yeah.
there on that other.
Is this Colorado?
Yeah.
This is.
This is, yeah, this is Glenn on the bicycle in front of Everett's house. Here's Everett's home right here, in front of the garage.
So that, sitting up on top of the sign.
Who was it? Now they're going on a ski lift. This is at Vale, wasn't it?
Yes,
And here's
Everett.
Everett and Lee and Pearl and Cynthia and Lynette. Now this is Maroon Bells near Aspen. And next is, this is Maroon Bells. Now, in there
Samantha is a coon at Pearl's.
is Samantha at Pearl's. Samantha was a coon, pet coon. And this may be around Cripple Creek. I've got it here. But it don't look like I remember it at all.
I think we're heading into the Tetons one. There's
Old Faithful at Yellowstone. Bear at Yellowstone.
These are elk.
Elk. Sheep on the way somewhere. Oil well at Midwest.
Is that Simmons Ranch there?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Simmons Ranch, where Glen stayed.
Simmons Ranch in
Hmm.
Wyoming.
This might be his homestead.
Yeah, it
Too-
could
Too
be.
rolling noise, isn't it?
No, it was level out in front. But here's Yellowstone again. I don't know why they're separated, but they are. The crowd at Yellowstone. Here's the Tetons. Moose, Yellowstone. No, it's all right. I just want to straighten my leg. More moose. People looking at them. No. They're at the cemetery at Henderson Cemetery. Glen's giving a talk after McLaughlin and Dunbar gave a talk. He got lots of compliments on that talk.
Tell about the stone.
Oh, they're dedicating the millstone that belonged to his great-grandfather.
Was it just put up there then?
Yeah, it was put up that summer before.
Has the stone been that you faced this place before?
What?
Where was the stone carried?
In the Thompson.
Yeah.
It was underneath a barn over east of the Forest Flower School. And he heard it was there, and he asked the woman if he could have it. And I forget, he gave her something for it because it was helping hold up the barn. And he put another stone underneath. And this is Hickman, one of the directors at the Henderson Cemetery. Glen was a director or a trustee for a long time there.